check it out. Check out my all my things to join up. Um, Above is my fan fiction. Below is my GoFundMe. Check out my GoFundMe. In the corner there is my sorry, my Discord, and we're gonna be doing some Critical Drinker and Mauler open night um reaction. So I'm kind of already drunk to his open bar, so I think I'm already pretty. As you can see, I'm already drunk, so I'm just saying random things. Uh, so let's get it going.
America.
I guess I'll allow it.
Okay. We'll just go clockwise then. Mauler, and then George, and so on. Give us your thoughts on this movie.
So all these guys, they're great. I've watched Critical Drinker, Muller. I haven't watched um, George the Slayer. I've never actually heard him. He looks like he's Lord of the Rings, so that's probably why. I liked Lord of the Rings, but I haven't been a fan of Lord of the Rings for the longest time. I think Hobbit gave it to me. Like I couldn't watch Hobbit just because I loved the original cartoon Hobbit. Uh, but yeah, so we're gonna go to Chris Gore. Chris Gore, I haven't actually heard of. So we'll see what he has to say. He's into looks like pretty much everything with Batman, Star Wars. He has like a weird what is that? George not George Washington. I would say like for some reason I'm thinking it's Belford or like Henry Bell or Henry Ford or something like that. No, what was his name? Something Bell. I'm kind of drunk, so Fringy also I've never heard of. I can't see what he is. He looks like he's a Yoda, weird bird Yoda, first thing. And then, yeah. I've seen him before, uh, but let's see how they all are.
Broad thoughts. Wow. We've more than certainly entered the era where any given people can just walk into the MCU, make their movie.
This is Captain America 4 review. So, spoilers alert if you don't want to watch it for Captain America, if you want to watch Captain America without any spoilers, end this pretty much.
And leave, and it has to have nothing to do with anything. They can just make a wish, foundation level of just have whatever the hell they want to be true at the start of it and at the end of it. To be honest, heavily insecure movie, I would say. They can't stop announcing that Sam Wilson is Captain America. They really, really, really want to push that is the case and that you will like it. It is awkward and embarrassing because
Did you like when Bucky Barnes shows up and says, "You are the best choice for Captain America"?
even better than Steve. because you can't really be Steve. But you could be Sam because he doesn't have super soldier serum. Because that's kind of Steve was never inspiring. He was always just the guy who did stuff because he had serum. That's kind of he's not as impressive as Sam, who has vibranium technology, shielding that makes it Red Hulk can't hurt him. Just some stuff, some tech, like two of those remote controlled birds that fucking shoot lasers. Yeah, just some bits and bobs, whatever. Man, what I mean, the whole plot is entirely retarded. The several villains are it's hard to track what the fuck their plans were, and they all cross over and crash to ribbons the second you think about any of it. Yeah, and the action was lame. It was poorly paced. It was edited to fucking back. It was hilarious trying to spot the 3 different movies inside this film.
Yeah.
And nothing impressed me. Dialogue, acting, anything. It was exactly what I was expecting. I'll say, yeah, it's not as bad as Multiverse of Madness, but what does that even fucking mean?
The Sam Raimi Multiverse of Madness was like, it was just like Sam Raimi watched a couple of fucking minutes of each MCU movie, and he's like, all right, I know what to do.
Who cares?
Wow.
George, I know you haven't seen it, so I won't subject you to it.
I'm sorry, Sam Raimi, he was good back in the day when he made Evil Dead, like the Evil Dead series, and Spider-Man. I think it was Spider-Man that made him like one of the biggest dickheads, because I know even Tobey Maguire was like people said he was a total dickhead to work with for Spider-Man. Sam Raimi. Because he's like, I made Hercules. I made Xena, the warrior princess. I made Evil Dead. I made Spider-Man. I'm a god.
I will say, Fringy, what was your thoughts?
I mean, it's exactly what you would expect. Like, is there any reason to believe
Fringy. That's his name. Fringy, not Friggy.
that after what has been one of the most baffling, like, streaks of terrible films in the history of cinema, that, oh, yeah, no...
What part of England do you think he's from? I think he's from Northern. He sounds very Northern English.
The 11th film, that'll be the one that turns things around. It's just...
Well, it just is very, very high pitch.
Awful for the same reason that every other Marvel film is awful. It's a story that, like, it's a story that fundamentally doesn't make any sense at all. Like, the way that all of the scenes are strung together is completely fucking bizarre and illogical. The characters are thin, like, and don't even really, like, pull from their own history. It's exactly what Mola said. If somebody comes in, they have the story that they want to tell, regardless of what came before, and certainly with no regard for what any writers that come later have to do with everything that they've established and all of the implications that it has on the world. It is just like a mess, and I don't think that has anything in it that would be particularly crowd pleasing either. I don't know that people are particularly fond of really awful green screen, lame fight scenes where there are so many like cuts and chops that like it's difficult to keep track of what's happening. It's just a mess. It's an absolute mess.
Yep. I don't disagree with a single word you said there, actually. Nihat, what do you reckon?
Yeah.
I got the impression that they didn't know what movie they wanted to make, because this is like a Frankenstein's monster of other MCU films. There's strands from Captain America the Winter Soldier, Civil War. The movie also functions as a sequel to the Edward Norton The Incredible Hulk, and a loose continuation of the Eternals, like they mentioned the Celestials. Much in the same way, I felt like Sam Wilson's Captain America is also a Frankenstein's monster of other heroes. He's got the shield of Cap, the mask of Ant-Man. I think you mentioned this yourself, Drinker. The wings of Falcon, the tech of Iron Man, the fight choreography of Black Widow and the vibranium armor of Black Panther. Like the script is a mess. It's very hard to follow. The characters are all over the place and very inconsistent. There's a very weak villain. The editing, CGI, and pacing is also very choppy. And about halfway through, you start to realize how many reshoots were done to put this thing together. I can only imagine what the previous version of this film was. It's better than the Marvels, I guess. But yeah, this is just a horrible movie.
Yeah. Chris, what do you think? I'm just waiting for you to say I loved it. It was fucking amazing.
Well, I mean, I will tell you this. One of the greatest films ever made that I know all of you love was ridiculed. They thought would fail. The studio wasn't behind it. And all the friends of this filmmaker said, movie's not very good. It's kind of bad. Turned out to be one of the best movies ever. I'm talking about Star Wars. When George Lucas showed it to his friends, they were like, I don't know what this is. This is bad. And turned out to be amazing. This is not one of those movies. So I'll just say that it's ill-conceived from the beginning that to diminish Captain America to a mantle.
I love how he
instead
just
of-
I love how he just totally. It's like totally mislead you.
A man was a bad idea from the get-go. That was terrible. I don't know who Sam Wilson is. I know who Steve Rogers is. He's a skinny boy from Brooklyn who would jump on a grenade to save others
Yeah,
and sacrifice
they
himself.
didn't give
That's the
Sam
heart of a
Wilson
hero.
a backstory.
That's before he took the serum. I still don't know who Sam Wilson is. I think Anthony Mackie is a very likable actor who's a very good sidekick. And I love him as Falcon. This was a bad idea from the beginning.
they never
It's a
gave
mess.
Falcon a backstory.
The director was in over his head. It's shot like a TV movie. The action scenes look like a child wore a green screen leotard and played with toys. It's so incomprehensible. So, horrible CGI, bad action, a complete mess of a script that is nearly all exposition.
Captain 4, Captain America 4 would have been way better if they just gave Anthony Mackie a backstory. Like, throw in a villain that was about Anthony Mackie's, Sam Wilson. You know what I mean? That's what they should have done. Thrown in a villain that Sam Wilson has fought, that Falcon has fought, and everything like that. And that way you make him have a backstory. Don't try to throw all these characters in like they've been so doing. And I find that they're gonna be doing it with the X-Men. The X-Men, oh my god. I'm so afraid of the X-Men. MCU with the X-Men. That is gonna be the fucking worst movie ever. 'Cause you know for a fact all they're gonna do is throw every single X-Men in at once. And each X-Men character are gonna have one freaking line hey, I'm Colossus. I'm Kitty. Or I'm Kitty Pryde. Shadowcat. I'm okay. Blah blah blah. You know what I mean? Doing her southern thing. Everyone's just gonna have one line because literally there's thousands of X-Men characters. And already with all these things, it's this person is being looked at for this character, and this character's looking for this character, and this character's looking for this character, and this character's looking for this character. And it's really? Just stick with the original 5. Make them battle Magneto. Boom. People will love it. I don't know why you have to throw in like 50 characters in at once just to try to make it a good thing. Just make a good
Edition.
story with.
And when we get to spoilers, I'll point out specifics that are beyond comprehension how bad they are. And if you look at Rotten Tomatoes right now, the rating is sort of fluctuating. It's now the 33rd it ranked 33rd out of 35 Marvel movies. So,
Wow.
What's below it?
Wow.
What's below it?
check for yourself. I don't know.
I think Eternals is
Eternals.
one of them.
Yeah,
This is
yeah.
kind of the thing, though.
The
Is like,
Marvels has got to be below it, surely.
Yeah, so and the only good line from the trailer isn't in the movie. When Ross says, "You're no Steve Rogers," no, I'm not. That's not in the movie. So
Yes.
this is a colossal failure that'll probably do better than the Marvels because people like Anthony Mackie as Falcon. He is a likable character. Not is this not I don't get this whole mantle thing. You can't just call yourself Skywalker at the end of a 9-film saga.
yeah, you
Have
can.
it be
J.J. Abrams did.
well, exactly.
I mean,
It's like-
and it's just like
it's
no
a
one will.
stupid idea. It's a stupid idea. Not to mention, as I think Mueller, you pointed out, this sort of hodgepodge of powers. He has Ant-Man's. I'm frozen there for a second. He has Ant-Man's helmet, which is a lazy thing Marvel's done with every character. You know, Ant-Man's helmet. He's got Falcon's wings with Wakanda tech, Cap's shield. He's like, I don't know, just
Yeah,
a
MCU
hodgepodge
is-
of like.
MCU has done a weird thing with Wakanda tech. It's just like, how do we do this? Wakanda tech. It's like their go-to thing. Blah 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 blah. Well, we can't figure this out. Well, Wakanda tech can do it.
It's dumb. He's like a Lego set as and he's a man. He's a human. I think I'll tell you maybe one way I think it could have worked once we get into the story. There's an interesting thing with the character of what's his name, Tobias. Isaiah Bradley.
Isaiah Bradley should have been Captain America, not Sam Wilson.
Yeah.
Character of Isaiah Bradley, who was a soldier. Imagine the same movie, but Isaiah Bradley is Steve Rogers, old Steve Rogers, in that role, and Falcon or Sam Wilson trying to save Steve Rogers. That would have made it so much better. Think through the story, as dumb as it is, and it's so simple-minded. It wants to be. This movie wants to be Winter Soldier,
Yes.
and it's a TV show, but it's bad, or a Manchurian Candidate.
But isn't
the,
that the
the
problem?
Winter Soldier aspect of it is the thing that jumped out at me. Like, it wants
Yeah.
to have that grounded, serious tone of Winter Soldier. It wants to play with socio-political themes and like the idea of, you know, security versus freedom, that sort of thing. But it also has to work with like ridiculous, like, so, you know, galactic level concepts like a celestial bursting out of planet Earth,
Right.
and like, you know, you've got like the Red Hulk, which is very much like grounded in a different aspect of the MCU, and it's trying to bring together all these disparate elements, and it never finds a way to make them work together. You could, as people have pointed out, you can absolutely tell the cuts that have been made in this movie. There's characters that go absolutely nowhere, that just show up and then nothing is done with them. You've got Giancarlo Esposito's character, who in the trailers he was built up as this like criminal mastermind. Like, this dude was gonna absolutely test this guy to his limits. He's in like 2 scenes, and one of them is like an awkward fight watching like a 65-year-old man go toe to toe with like Anthony Mackie, who's like a fucking
That was
tank.
the scene I got the impression of the Winter Soldier copy. It's like they wanted to recreate the first proper Cap and Winter Soldier fight, but this time they had a guy and an elderly man.
Yep.
You mean they
You've got
wanted
that.
to
You've got the
recreate
you've got the sort of secret agent girl who I can't remember her fucking name for the life of me because I think they say it once in the entire movie. She's like the Israeli special forces lady who's helping them. She does basically nothing. She's introduced. She has her little girl boss moment where she beats up like 6 guys who are twice her size, and I mean literally twice her size because this girl is tiny. The actress
Possibly
is
even 3
tiny.
times this size.
I thought
Yeah,
she was
possibly.
a child. I thought she was a child.
Everyone does.
We all did,
Like,
yeah.
They
She's
picked
so
the least
skinny and-
intimidating actress in the world. So yeah, but then she does nothing, and like I'm willing to bet there's a cut of this movie where she is a Black Widow type character, like Black Widow was in Winter Soldier. This was her, only not as good looking.
Did you notice in the skirmish with the planes and ships and by the Celestial that she was in an outfit?
Yeah, she was in
Like
the
she-
superhero
yeah,
costume.
like she
was
It
doing
like a blue
stuff.
jacket
She
and a
did
blue vest.
nothing.
Yep,
There
that's
was-
all
there-
cut, all cut.
Yeah, clearly.
They even like making Japan not the antagonist, but like the warring power that America's
Right.
going to go to war with. Who the fuck is going to go to war against America? Least of all Japan. Like you guys tried that
Right.
already, and it didn't work out too well for you.
Plus, Japan doesn't have a military. They have a self-defense force. That's it.
Yeah.
Like China would have been the much more logical opponent, but Disney are never going to make China the antagonists in a movie
Exactly.
like this for obvious reasons. So it's like, who else is in Southeast Asia?
Yes,
Fucking
Something
Japan,
I
I
found,
guess.
something I found really bizarre about the movie when you think about it is that the idea of it's a Captain America film. It's like, I mean, really, like the central
Hence-
plot and the central conflict is all the fallout.
Hence why when I'm making my manga thing about X-Men, the X-Men thing, it's an island in the Atlantic, and pretty much because they found oil, that island, they're their own sustained country, run by like mutants and everything. Like that's what the villainous thing is about. Like they're villains. But like when you're making fictional stuff and everything, you have to make fictional countries too, right? You have to make fictional stuff and everything that will accumulate with the real world stuff.
Out of the Incredible Hulk. Like, if any other hero had been called in instead of Sam, like nothing really changes. The central conflict doesn't stem from like decisions that he made or the consequences of prior Captain America storylines. It's basically, the leader. He's out to get Ross, and Sam just happens to be there and
It's
get
a-
involved in the plot.
Yeah, I mean, there's an element of continuation from Falcon and the Winter Soldier as well with Isaiah, but like he's almost used.
But
just
that's
as a plot
incidental,
device.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
it could have been anybody else. It could have been that Captain Marvel was there, and then she invited, I don't know, one of her friends, and then she got mind controlled, and then like nothing changes. It all plays out exactly the same way.
Oh, Fringy, she doesn't have any friends. No one likes her, even in. the
Well, no,
universe.
she had a Monica, but she's trapped in another universe, and I'm sure we'll see her again at some point.
Probably, yeah.
So I have a question. I'm going to go see it later tonight. Do you have to have seen the 2008 Hulk movie plus Falcon and the Winter
No,
Soldier?
you're in luck. There's a really smooth exposition scene at the beginning of the film to catch you up on the events of the
Yeah.
Incredible Hulk.
It's
Exposition
literally a-
speed. The exposition throughout the whole movie is awful.
Ugh.
It's literally like the first 30
Okay.
minutes are just like, as you know, kind of conversations, like where they
Right.
just fill everyone in on their own personal history.
Well, like when Sam does the deflection at first with his vibranium Wakanda shield shit, and then the guy's like, "Whoa, what the fuck?" And he's like, "Oh, that's because his suit was made by Wakanda. It has Wakanda technology." In it. It's like,
How does he survive? How does Mahler? How does he survive getting hit by the Hulk when you see it in the trailer? Like,
I mean,
Vibranium.
he uses his wings and the
well, we
shield.
saw,
and-
I
you
know,
got the
but
wings, the shield, the vibranium material, and you have there's shield tech inside his
Yeah.
suit.
I mean,
there's
even the
things,
Hulk
there's things in it that
and
piss me off
Ultron
a lot. Like when he
Well,
gets
yeah.
punched across the street, right, and he does that thing where he's being pushed back by the force of the punch, and like his feet are burrowing into the pavement, like the tarmac of the road. But like,
So
there's nothing
feature
protecting them. It's literally just his legs doing that, but it doesn't
Well,
like
there is-
snap all the bones.
It's so true. If you're like, especially if you have no superpowers or whatever, and you're doing like, and you're like, your legs would be like, you would literally like, it doesn't matter if you're in armor or whatever. If you're getting shot back that, your feet are gonna be crushed by the fucking force of it. If you don't have super abilities, doesn't matter if you have armor. It's all about the force.
Bones in his body.
which it
They try to
should.
put purple goo on like all of the different hits he takes to imply it's all softening it. But there's a part I think where Red Hulk is like swinging around a flagpole and Sam just grabs it with his hands.
Yeah.
Like it's just like no, there's no amount of purple goo that's letting you do that, mate.
Yeah, that
And
just,
like, the thing is, even Steve Rogers with the super soldier serum wouldn't be able to take on the Hulk.
No, this
No, it really is the clearest example of where things have gone wrong. That it used to be that Iron Man needed a massive Hulkbuster suit
Yes.
to fight
Yes.
against. Now, like a guy in basically a magical suit, because that's essentially
Which I
what it
don't-
is in terms of the
I don't
technology
like
and magic.
Any of this shit. The end of Cap 1, it's like he's doing some incredible shit that's well beyond the average human, but you know, pushing a super soldier to his limits. Remember the end of Winter Soldier, he's shot I think 3 times before he gets the final card in the thing, and then
Mhm.
basically lets
Yeah.
Bucky beat him because he just refuses to fight at that point. And then in Civil War, he's on the verge of death against Iron Man, but every time he's only ever using his strength, his skill, his agility, and he's got maybe some tools. Obviously, the shield, you have a grapple every once in a while, but that's it. Fucking Falcon, he has like a armory's worth of every hero's powers.
It's the
I'm not
stupid
impressed at
fucking.
all.
It's the stupid drones that are always hovering around, like shooting
Yeah.
little laser beams into Hulk's ass, and like it does
Yeah.
nothing. But it just like the movie
It's annoying.
insists on showing you, and it's like, what is that even? What are we meant to take from that? He's
Well, the
getting a
thing is,
tiny
that
bit of
does
help from these
nothing.
little drone things.
But the vibranium suit like actually cuts him and injures him. Like he's actually doing better than Tony did, basically in that fight.
There,
But
there
the
was
thing is, it's like Fringy was saying, though, if I remember correctly, in Ultron, Stark didn't last too long. He only had a
He was
few
getting torn to
minutes.
shreds.
In the Hulkbuster. So you're telling me he could take that for a few minutes in the Hulkbuster, but Mackie could just keep going?
I mean, he
Well.
basically wins the fight. Like
Wow.
it's kind of like he wins and then he kind of doesn't, and then he talks Ross down. He's like, "Hey, you're good. Don't be evil anymore."
Be
And
nice,
then he,
bro.
we're gonna get into spoilers now, I think. So let's just say fuck it. Yeah,
Spoilers.
so he stabs him multiple times with this vibranium suit, and like he puts the wing right through his gut. And then like there's a big explosion because I think he can somehow like harness the kinetic energy of impacts
yeah.
and then like just dispel
how-
it like through the wings. So like it's
Oh, wait, for Black Panther in his movie.
yeah, so it creates a big explosion, everyone gets kind of knocked out, and then like they both get up, and like the Hulk is kind of like injured but still in the fight, and his
Wow.
line is pretty much, "Have you tried not being a Hulk?" And then he just goes,
that shit
"Okay."
works. It works.
And it worked.
And I thought, at the very least, okay, it'd be cliched as fuck, like, but bring Betty in or something, and just be like, "Hey, your daughter's here. Like, please don't kill me because she's here, and like, she's your moral anchor, and she'll help to bring you down."
Well, they're
But
setting
it's
that
not
up
even
throughout
that.
the film, like that he's going to
Yes.
go for a walk with her, and so you're expecting her to arrive there at the end and calm him down, and then go for that walk that they were talking about. But none of that happens. Like there's all this setup and no payoff.
No, she just shows up later in a different scene where it's like it's less potent.
Falcon's just awkwardly standing in the background.
In the movie, does he still look like the bomb popsicles? You know, the red, white, and blue. Because in the trailers that I've seen, it just looks horrible. The color, the way they have him look.
Do you mean the suit?
Yeah,
Like
the
the-
suit. I mean, the
Oh,
trailer.
what-
When I
what-
looked at it, it looks like the popsicles you used to eat as a kid.
Maybe help me out with this. In the opening fight of the movie, like a guy cuts through his suit.
Mm.
Yes.
Like he gets into a fight with a dude, and it cuts through the suit, and it's like, wait, but that shouldn't be impossible, right? Because it's a vibranium suit. but like it never gets mentioned again. He just gets a new suit and that's the suit that he's using
Another
later on in the
new
movie.
Wakandan vibranium suit. Which
Yeah,
is,
why didn't he let his buddy, the new Falcon, use that one? Why does he have to use the inferior one?
This series now is the classic example of what happens when you've mingled together far too many powers and technologies and like abilities to the point where anything could happen at any moment, and it's explainable because you've got so many things at your disposal to save the day. You know, this is a world where you've got vibranium that can fucking do anything. Who cares? You've got like nanotechnology suits. You've got witchcraft. You've got wizardry. You've got sorcery, and they're apparently all different things. You've got power stones, infinity stones.
Like vibranium, it's a metal. What do you expect them to be like so high tech in society and everything just because of having a metal? You know what I mean?
God knows what else. You've got like spiritual beings. You've got like multiverses. It's to the point where anything could happen at any moment.
Plus, you literally have one city. You call yourself like a freaking huge advanced society with only one city, and the rest is like forest and field with like cabins and tents and everything like that. It's like
moment, and you can make it justifiable in universe, and then there's no weight to anything now because there's always something to save the day. It's too convoluted at this point.
But yes, I have to agree with them. It is kind of getting too convoluted and too just too messed up with stuff. But if you want to check out my fan fiction, could always use some more follows. Also check out my GoFundMe. Boop, boom, 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 boom. But yeah, check out my GoFundMe. It'll probably change by the end of the thing. Here, I'll drop drop it in the chat. Yeah. So, check out my GoFundMe, check out my fanfic, check out my YouTube, like and subscribe, and I hope you guys have a great night.